Hey y'all, it's Erica here. So, I don't really like to engage in drama and bullshit, but you know what? When it finds me, I seemingly have to put up with it. Okay, so I'm just gonna tell y'all a little story about two really disrespectful and violent and rude teenagers that I have got to put up a boundary. Um, I have to put up a boundary. And I have done nothing but be supportive of them. I have done nothing but help them, buy stuff for them, allow them, to be here time and time again. Let me tell you a little story about what kind of made me have this final straw with them, basically. So, a little backstory. I have a pretty large house. I mean, it's not a mansion, but there's 7 bedrooms. There's basement, first floor, and top floor. And I have lots of pets and lots of kids. Therefore, we do lots of cleaning constantly. Um, there's always laundry to be done. There's always dishes to be done. Vacuuming needs done. And this is going to be a little story about vacuum cleaners. So, I used to just have one vacuum and it would just circulate throughout the house. If we're vacuuming the living room, okay. Then someone would have to carry it all the way upstairs and then, do what they're doing in other rooms, whatnot. When I have a lot of cats now, and when I decided that that system wasn't working, when I got my tax refund last year, I decided to buy 2 additional vacuums. And in fact, this has kind of been an ongoing issue because I have very much spoken openly about the violence of the teenager I'm speaking with now, who's 17 and a half. He's been consistently violent over basically his entire life. And recently, with my soul healing and stuff I've been doing, I've been learning how to disengage. So, not fuel the fire, and step away from toxicity and stuff like that. And when I started doing my healing, I've realized I cannot, if I'm going to live as a free, open person, I can't have toxic, abusive relationships in my life. So the first thing I did, which was the bravest step, was I had to separate from my marriage, which has been almost 3 years now. And basically, the teenager that we're speaking of, he has broken so much of every home that we've ever been in. He's destroyed pretty much everything nice. For example, just looking around here, I have doors that were supposed to be for the pantry, and he just pounded them all out. Like nice ass wood, too. Just pounded them all out, and they're just gone. The door to the basement, shattered glass. Anytime he gets upset, he flips out in a rage and he goes from 0 to full on rage in 2 seconds flat. Now, I am not going to just be a victim and be blaming and everything. I will say that a lot of this is due to what he's seen from very violent situations. His father was extremely violent with me, screaming at me, screaming in my face, choking me out, strangling me, punching me, spitting on me, abused me when I was pregnant, threatened me multiple times with the lives of my children. He's in and out of jail constantly, and those genes run deep. the father of my child, which I can't even call him that. He was extremely abusive towards his own mother, which actually put the woman in an early grave at the age of 60. The constant theft, the baby daddy, he would break into his mother's house. He robbed her of everything she had, has ruined her relationships she's tried to have, taken her credit cards multiple times. Like, let's just get to the point. He's a pretty bad dude. He's 9 years older than me. I was a very vulnerable 22-year-old girl when I met him. I fell quickly for his charm, and then it turned extremely dangerous extremely quickly. And at one point, he had scaled up the side of my house, broken into my top window, forced himself upon me, and that resulted in the son. So throughout the years, I had always loved my baby. I breastfed him, I carried him around, I dressed him, I played with him, made him laugh. And as he had gotten older, I mean, acting out with him has started at the age of 2, 3. I mean, it was always extreme moods with him, which I do trace back to a lot of it during my pregnancy when I was carrying him, and I had no idea about any of this, you know. While he was in the womb, it was an extremely stressful, tumultuous pregnancy. Like I said, the way that I got pregnant was clearly violent, so his cells and his genes are basically riddled with violence. And now that I know how to heal this kind of thing, and, you know, I'm really into getting rid of all this, I have begged him basically and offered to him for the past 2 to 3 years to allow me to get him into some kind of trauma release therapy, healing, anything, because it is extremely hard to deal with, and unfortunately he does not want to listen to any of it. Now, getting back to the vacuum cleaner and what's going down with them, I have bought obviously several vacuums throughout the years because there's a ton of shit that needs vacuumed up, and they break, and they are disposable. They usually last a couple of years if we can get a good cleaning routine with them, whatnot. Not a huge deal, okay? But I have bought actually a couple, and in addition to him destroying the doors around here, the walls around here, I have fucking big holes in the drywall from where he punches things. He also takes objects and just fucking smashes them and breaks them to shit. Okay? So he's actually done that with 2 of my vacuum cleaners. And this is what prompted me. He's got his own room, and he does keep his own stuff tidy, orderly, you know, that's how he wants it. Obviously, going out to the hallway where I store the vacuum or going downstairs to grab another vacuum, you know, doesn't appeal. So I actually let him pick out his own. He picked out a red Dirt Devil. It was a smaller vacuum, about $90. I said, this one is for you and you only. The one that I have deemed for my room, my carpeting, my pet hair, not to be used by others. There's 3 other rooms in the house, and there's 2 other vacuums for that. I have provided them with what they need to vacuum their room. In addition to them having access to the 2 other vacuums, which really, the one that stays downstairs, I would actually prefer stays in the living room, because certain carpet lengths, like once you get the settings, I don't know, it's like I feel like keeping stuff separate has really helped. stop all the clogging that will happen, and then I'm always forced by new ones. So my system works. But what really pisses me off is the fact that I ask very, very little of them. In fact, way too little. And it has significantly lessened because I can't take the violent outbursts. My soul literally can't take it. And in addition to that, I have 3 younger children who have not been exposed to the excessive violence that he's seen and who have not been exposed. And I don't want the exposure to that anger and hatred to be through watching their older brother abuse their mother. So in order to keep peace, I suck it up and I don't say a lot of stuff a lot of time, because every time I say something, it's a violent outburst, and I have absolutely had it. I have videos of him. He has gotten into my face, like the same way his dad would do, like screaming, like to the point where, as an empath especially, like my heart pounding and I'm shaking. I'm 112 pounds. I'm 5'6". He's taller than me at this point. He's a grown-ass teenage 17-year-old, okay? He's taller than me. He's stronger than me. And the fact that he has hatred and disrespect to me is quite frankly dangerous for my well-being. There has been so many times that he's been just out of control awful. When I was breastfeeding my youngest child as like an 8-month-old baby, I was sitting outside and he climbed up on the roof, whipped out his fucking little peenie, and then pissed on me, pissed on my head while I was breastfeeding my child. And of course, because I was in the middle of breastfeeding, couldn't do anything. I'm a single mom. Like I've never had backup with him. I have had a couple of boyfriends who I actually wanted to be serious with, and because of his horrible behavior and they didn't know what to do or how to handle stuff, they like opted to walk away from me. Which I can't blame them, because his behavior, it makes for a very tumultuous living situation. It's the traffic too. I don't know. Like, I've asked him repeatedly, okay, let's not smoke up the whole fucking house. Okay? Put something under your door, or go outside, or just whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a pretty fair, lenient, kind parent, but when it comes to respect, that's something I'm not going to compromise on. So back to this story that basically started this whole flip out with the vacuum. Oh yeah, another thing. The very little amount of chores that I do actually require is actually every other day, not every day. Like I said, we have pet cats, so we're on a rotation of who does the litter boxes, which it takes about less than 10 minutes to scoop out 4 litter boxes, literally. We're on rotation. Me on the weekends, and then Jesse does it one day, and then the 2 middle-aged children do it the next day, then Jesse the next day, then the kids. It's on a rotation. So basically he does it 2 to 3 times a week, and then taking out the kitchen trash every other day, 1 trash bag to the dump, put in a new bag, and then he's supposed to actually help with throwing in a load of towels in the washer. I have never ever expected him to wash my laundry, my children's laundry, anybody else's laundry, other than a load of towels. And let me tell you, him and his girlfriend, They take showers in my house every single day. They're using towels, okay? I feel that these are age appropriate chores, and I feel that I'm not being overburdening at all. And the rule is that the chores are expected to be done by 1 p.m. and before he goes out with his friends for the day. That's the rule. And yet, when the things don't get done, or I give a friendly reminder, hey, it's your day, or if I see him walking out the door and my trash is overflowing, I will say something like, hey, it's your day to take the trash out, and he retorts back to me every single time, you fucking lazy ass bitch, screaming it with so much rage, okay? Like, this is what he calls me. I've been a single mother. His dad has seen him maybe 6 times total in his entire life. I have put him ahead of me for as long as I can remember. And until I started my healing journey 2 years ago, I have not had much self-worth. And especially because I was so conditioned about, I'm a mom, I don't matter anymore. Well, I'm not going by that anymore. He's destroyed too much of my life and everybody else's life. And I see these people talking on, oh, those people that say when your kid's 18, you're done with them. How do you do that? Well, this is how. This is motherfucking how. Because he wants to run buck motherfucking wild all over the place with his fucking friends. You know, cool, be a teenager, okay, fine. But why are you lashing out at me for being a mother? Like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. And I have done so much to try to, like, make him happy. I understand he suffers from severe depression and, you know, abandonment issues from never having his dad. I truly, heartfeltedly understand that. But at this point, he's been spoken to about stuff like that, and it's not okay to be violent with me. It's not okay to call me names. It's not okay, especially to do this in front of my other children. Okay? So that's what he's expected to do. In addition to that, he keeps his own room clean-ish. You know, that's his own deal. And he does his own laundry. Occasionally his gets mixed in with ours, in which case, when that happens, I fold it and I set it on the table and he can see his pile and take it. You know, no big deal. I don't mind if his stuff gets mixed in. It's not a big deal. But, you know, I don't have the physical strength to overpower him when he gets violent with me. And several of his friends have witnessed a lot of this, and they've actually made it a point to tell me, wow, I can't believe he does that to you. Like, it's a real problem. I'm not just saying, oh, teenagers are hard. Okay, he is like no one else I've ever. And at this point, like, I can't even see him as my son. It's like I see him as, I'm scared kind of sometimes. Like, I mean, I see him as a abusive relationship, because it's just gotten so out of hand. And his girlfriend has been here for quite some time. I welcomed her with open arms. I've loved her. I've cared for her. I've given her things. I've bought her things. I've guided her. I've been there for her when no one else is. And then she's going to start with this bullshit too. So today, Oh yeah, and so he gets real mad. The reason they won't participate in dishes, they won't participate in sweeping floors, they won't participate in vacuuming any other area, they won't participate in even the bathroom. Me, I had to fix a fucking toilet because he clogged it up. I'm the one plunging his shit. Fuck that, dude. Like, I am not the one here, all right? I have got to have self-respect for myself. I'm over the bullshit. So today, what had happened is, oh yeah, the whole thing I keep trying to say. The reason I was saying all that stuff is because he would scream and yell at me and say, I'm not here to be your slave. I'm not cleaning up after you. Okay, first of all, I don't ask nobody to clean up after me. Except like my husband, maybe, or like a boyfriend or something, like whatever. Like, no, I don't ask my children. I don't have my children clean up after me. If I make a mess, if I spill some stuff, if I have my own laundry, I've never asked any of that. That's not their responsibility. I don't ask anybody to do that. So he's real adamant about, oh, I'm not washing no motherfucking dishes. Oh, well, he'll sure leave dirty dishes in the sink, but he won't wash no motherfucking dishes because he's not cooking and those aren't his kids and he's not the dad of the house. Okay, fair enough. I wash dishes. Whatever. Not even saying anything about it because I'm not trying to nitpick. You know, I don't want him to feel like I'm nitpicking everything. I've never wanted him to feel like any of that, you know, but yet still the hatred, which I don't get. I feel it right here when I say that too. It's like in the soul. So when he came downstairs with my vacuum cleaner, I was like, oh, what are you doing? Now, mind you, this was like 11:30 a.m. My other kids had a sleepover with their dad, so I was having me a peaceful morning. I'm sitting on my couch drinking tea in a quiet home, and I'm just like trying to just enjoy my quiet time before I got dressed for the day. He comes downstairs with my vacuum cleaner. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm emptying out your vacuum. And I said, oh, you don't have to do that. That's my responsibility. Don't worry about it. First of all, because he bangs the shit out of shit, breaks shit, right? So that's why I basically like don't want them touching the one I use. Okay, I have to vacuum. I have a routine. I vacuum my room every night. Okay, maybe every other night if I'm busy. But I have a lot of cat hair. I have black carpet, so that's just what I do. When my kids are in the bathtub, I go across the hallway to my room and I vacuum my room while my kids bathe. And like, that's my fucking vacuum. So I'm like, no, you don't have to do that. Obviously it was filled up. He's like, well, it's filled up. And I'm like, well, next time I use it, I'll empty it. Like, it can sit there. It's fine. You know, I'll handle it. Like, why don't you worry about your own room? And I never yelled. I just kind of was like, what are you doing? And then he goes out to the bin. You can see these trash bins, whatever. Goes out to the bin. And I see him taking my vacuum apart and like knocking it. I'm like, so I speak out this window, what are you doing? Can you stop, please? I said, please stop. Seriously, like, please stop. Bring that in. Like, I'll put it back together, whatever. And he's like, and then his girlfriend comes down and I don't know. I was like, hey, I told her, I was like, hey, there's a vacuum right there. Like, if you guys need to use something, go either use the one I bought for you or use this one. Like, I was like, please don't mess with mine. I can't afford to keep replacing these vacuums. You know, and mine works fine. It works fine in my room, and that's that. And because there has always been, like, issues, like, especially in the living room with, you know, sometimes there's stray Legos. Sometimes there's just, you know, other shit. That's why I've had to come to the point where the one for my room used strictly for my pet hair on my carpet is it. Like, that is it. I have got to. So she has the audacity to say, God, you're so fucking rude to me. Meanwhile, he's calling me a bitch, and I'm like getting yelled at. I'm just sitting on my couch getting yelled at. I'm like, you're calling me rude? I said, you're in my house. I was like, you are in my house using my resources, and you're going to call me rude because I bought you guys your own vacuum and there's a general usage one, and I don't want you messing with my stuff. So they're just carrying on to each other. Fuck it, they threw my vacuum down rudely. Fuck it, fuck her, God, I fucking hate it here, what a bitch. Like, and I'm just sitting here like, what do I do? Because I don't want to escalate the situation. This is not the first time some shit like this went down. I don't want to escalate the situation. I'm trying to gather myself. I'm just remaining calm. I literally hadn't even got to drink my tea, so I'm like kind of tired still. And I hear a bunch of clunking around, so I go upstairs to make sure they're not just like in my bathroom throwing my stuff, or like in my room, or kicking the door or whatever. So I have to go up there and check. And they're just like, fuck you, I hate it here. And I said, well, you're not allowed to be here anyway. I told you to leave. Like, he's not allowed to have company. I said, my son, he's acting like this. He's violent towards me, cussing at me. I said, he's not allowed to have company here anymore. And I was like, I've already told you that last week, that until you can be respectful, you're not going to be in my home, right? But I just can't even believe where these motherfuckers get off. I mean, I've been paying their fucking phone bills this whole time. Let me reiterate, I am a single mother. I have sacrificed so fucking much of stuff that I would want to take care of them. Like, okay, yeah, that's what moms do. Well, no, it's not. It's what single moms get forced into doing. All the hardship that I've gone through for him, all the inconveniences on my younger kids to try to do stuff that I need to do for him. I mean, it's just been a whole thing. And I've never said nothing. But, like, this can't continue. And, like, I'm not gonna allow it. Like, I wish I had someone here to stick up for me, but I don't. So I am at this point where, I don't know, but that's what happened. That's what happened today. So it's like, wow, you really want to call me a bitch? Like, and the worst thing that just happened kind of recently was for his birthday. Like I said, he's depressed, and I know that what he needs to help that is actually some trauma healing therapy, which he like refuses to let me help him with. But, obviously material objects kind of help sometimes. So when his birthday came up, I bought him a really spectacular gift. I got him a dirt bike, and it was like $1,600. And I just wanted to make him happy. I thought maybe it could be a hobby to just, instead of just smoking up and playing video games, sitting in your room constantly, I wanted to support him in a physical hobby. So I got him that. The very next day, he was back to cussing me out, yelling at me about taking out trash. Or then when he does take out the trash, he'll come in here, fuck you, you can put in a bag, you lazy, stupid bitch. Like, literally, that's how he just generally talks to me. It's so disgusting, and I hate it. I really do. Like, I want no part of being talked to like that at all. That's why I don't have these men in my life. And he's not at the point where he's a kid anymore. He's just another abusive man. And I'm not going to stand for it. Like, he's got options. He doesn't have to live with me. He's got a grandfather that he can go live with. If he tracked his biological dad down, maybe he could stay there. I don't know. But he doesn't have to be here. And I've tried to get him to kind of just go to my dad's house for the past couple years, and he's been refusing. So, like, I kind of don't really know exactly what to do, but they started packing up a bunch of stuff and getting out, which is cool with me. First of all, she's been here for 2 years, and for her to turn and be saying all that shit to me is so fucked. It is truly fucked, but whatever. You know, it is what it is. I'm looking forward to having the toxicity out of my life, really. I don't know. Like, this is just not your average situation. And, like, I want good things for him, but it's just not healthy. If he's really got so much hatred towards me, and I don't know, I've read about some of this, like, when the dads aren't around, the kid will take the hatred out for the absent father on the mother who is around. And I mean, at this point in time, I'm just not here for it. I'm just not fucking here for it. I've given up my life for 20 years to deal with being a single mom to these deadbeat fucking demons, children. And I'm not doing it anymore. Period. And he does not act like this to anyone else. His teacher raves about him, says that he's so smart, he's doing really good. Anyone else has said that he's always been well behaved and kind, respectful, so he does not do this to anyone but me. You know, I don't know what's up with his dad. I think he actually went back to jail again for aggravated assault. So, I mean, like, I don't keep up with him. Like, I left that shit behind long ago. I tried for years to, like, inspire him to, like, be a dad, but, he didn't. It just didn't register, And I don't know, y'all. This is some real shit that's going down, and I'm tired of being bullied and getting treated violently by this overgrown child to the point where it has become nothing more than a toxic relationship. And it needs to be done. It just needs to be done, for a while or for good. So that's what's going on. I asked her for the key again. Anyway, that's pretty much that. That's what's going on. We're not fooling around. I've made a lot of videos. Maybe not a lot, but I'm speaking out about it. That's what it is. Alright, so that's that. That's the situation. I'm going to go ahead and get off here about it and get back to the day. Bye.